This is Dan Farisi, editor of Sound and Communications magazine. Happy to be joined this morning by Sam Recine, VP of Sales, AVIT Group, Americas and Asia Pacific with Matrox. Thanks for joining me, Sam.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
So the topic of conversation, as you would imagine, is COVID-19 and how the commercial AV industry is continuing to plow ahead and rise above the considerable challenge presented by COVID-19. With respect to Matrox in particular, obviously both in Canada and in the US, we've had some shelter-in-place orders, work-from-home orders, and the like. How has Matrox been affected in terms of its day-to-day operations for its employees and its team?
Well, then, Matrox has met or exceeded all of the government guidelines and is currently doing its absolute best to protect its staff and partners. Luckily for us, Matrox is a well-diversified company. We have global operations, and we're able to provide a very good continuity of supply to our OEM integration and channel partners. And we're very fortunate to have a very good attitude workforce. Our people are showing extreme kindness, flexibility, creativity, and diligence during the coronavirus crisis. And we're very humble at Matrox to be able to play a small role in providing our products to workflows that are actually helpful during the COVID crisis in helping organizations to manage the crisis in government and healthcare facilities, as well as workflows helping organizations to work productively while sheltering at home. We just so happen to be making technologies that enable some of these things. So in our little tiny realm of this universe, we're helping out.
Speaking of the provision of products, even though obviously some projects are on hold right now because of those shelter-in-place orders, there's still, I would imagine, a considerable amount of demand for Matrox products, as there always is. To what extent has your supply chain been disrupted, or have your shipping abilities been diminished, or are you still in a good position where people who are demanding their Matrox products are able to get them in a timely fashion with minimal disruption?
Yeah, well, we've been in business almost 50 years now, so we've been through several shocks. Over the years, we've developed good processes and built in quite a lot of support for periods like this. We have built-in redundancies and processes to handle any variety of force majeure events. We've exercised our flexibility to increase inventory of strategic components early in the crisis. We've also worked extensively with our network of logistics partners to assure multiple alternate routes for the movement and storage of components and finished goods. We've assured the working conditions of our people have been modified to meet or exceed all of the guidelines from the government in all of the jurisdictions where we operate. A significant portion of our staff is able to shelter in place, and for those that require continued access to some of our global facilities, the workspaces have been reconfigured to assure social distancing. And we have prioritized, above all, employee safety. This is our topmost concern. And it's very gratifying and rewarding to witness how hardworking and compassionate our community of healthcare professionals in our medical system is behaving. So we consider our, extremely hard work to try to protect employees from not only contracting COVID, but from any injury whatsoever, to keep people out of our slightly overburdened medical system right now. We're doing everything we can to keep, people safe and away from hospitals and letting the amazing medical community perform the miracles that they're doing on a daily basis.
And that's certainly to Matrox's credit, and you do have a wonderful team. I'm glad everyone is being taken care of so well. Obviously, here in the US, a lot of people are familiar with the government efforts, both federal, state, and local, to help companies that are struggling through what is really an unprecedentedly difficult time. I imagine much the same is being done in Canada at this point. Has Matrox been able to take advantage of any economic rescue efforts or any kind of government assistance to enable you to maintain your full roster of employees and all those kinds of things that potentially could be a challenge for some companies in the context of economic cataclysm?
So the Canadian, Quebec, and international governments that Matrox deals with all have relief measures in place to help the most vulnerable organizations in their respective constituencies bridge this difficult period. The biggest role that Matrox is playing is remaining operationally strong and providing business continuity to our partner base. Years of strong supply chain relations and customer relations are shining through in periods such as this. And the spirit of cooperation between us and our stakeholders is an immeasurable asset in this time. I know that we have spoken to the government and explored all of the menu of options that are available for relief. Matrox qualifies for some and not others. It's not a one-size-fits-all answer in every jurisdiction, but yes, we're extremely grateful for how governments in general are behaving in all of the places where we operate.
Obviously, Matrox is a fairly high-profile member of the commercial AV family. As you said, it's a company with a lot of longevity, a lot of really interesting technologies. So I think it's probably one of the companies that people look to in a time of crisis in the commercial AV industry and really the world broadly, not just our industry, for guidance, for wisdom, for advice, for strategic thinking. Is there anything you might want to offer to your commercial AV peers, your commercial AV family members, as they strategize and try to find their way not only through this, but to thrive beyond it?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. We're a main supplier of components and products to the critical decision systems parts of the AV industry, including many control rooms, crisis rooms, medical operating theaters, law enforcement and defense operations, city operations, logistics, and security operations. So in light of that, we've been at the vanguard of multiple technologies for performance media infrastructures. And our focus in the last decade has been performance media beyond the facility. So when we think of AV infrastructure, we think of large campuses or multi-site and things beyond just, you know, the performance media in one room or in one building. And we've been helping our OEM and integration partners' solutions play a pivotal role in live streaming, in conferencing, in remote collaboration applications. And during periods like coronavirus, we see firsthand why some of the things that we've been an advocate for over years has really played out. Why interoperability between open standards-based platforms is right now helping organizations to better adapt with the needs of the market and is far more resilient and scalable compared to more sort of single vendor, more proprietary solutions. So this is just a standards advocacy in general. And the Pro AV market is adapting extremely well, I find, to working more with software-defined workflows that help orchestrate many varied performance media products in new and useful ways. And the partners that have been with us on the AV over IP journey that we started many years ago are providing leadership right now. And they're making the market change some of their workflows during this time where it isn't just hype or marketing to talk about how to balance between performance and bitrate and programmability and open standards-based multi-vendor interoperability. These are not just slogans anymore, they're all essential aspects of new workflows that are emerging as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. So we're grateful that we've invested in creating the developer tools to power the solutions from our OEMs and integrators and channels for the AV over IP market transition. It's obviously front and center in the market right now, and our advice to the commercial AV industry has not changed. it's the same that we've been saying for the last 10 years. We're delighted to continue to deliver change through our ecosystems of open, standards-based, interoperable products, and we're a fierce advocate of products working together and behaving nicely with even competitors' products. So this hallmark and tenet of our development mentality is bearing out really well at the moment.
I completely agree, and I think a situation like coronavirus does have a clarifying influence, and it goes to show how prescient some organizations, Matrox among them, have been.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I really do appreciate your time, Sam. I know you're a busy guy, and I appreciate you taking a few moments to speak to Sound and Communications about COVID-19 and how Matrox is continuing to power through, rise above, and yield change in an industry that is still very much future focused and looking forward to a bright tomorrow after this pandemic recedes. Once again, joined by Sam Recine, VP of Sales, AVIT Group, Americas and Asia Pacific with Matrox. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you very much, and thank you. I wish you and your listeners safety and good health.
And likewise to you. Thank you.
Thank you.